Oh, new school comic book reviews. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit different. I'm not at the usual place I normally am at when I do these things, so I hope this one works out. So let's see here if I can kind of jump into it. Hopefully everything will be okay. Let's start off with Batman Incorporated #1, written by Grant Morrison, art by Chris Burnham. Basically what happens in this issue, there's a contract out on Robin, who is Damian, Batman's long-lost son. We get to see how the Leviathan is still doing their thing where it looks like they're attempting to take over other criminal organizations and I assume eventually take over the world. And we also get to see how some of Batman's allies and lieutenants or whatever are starting to make their move. It's pretty interesting issues, pretty cool, pretty fun, lots of crazy stuff going on. The writing is, decent. It's Grant Morrison, and Chris Burnham's art is very Frank Quietly-esque, I would say. But I like it. It works for me. The biggest drawback to me, though, is this is an issue #1. However, we're literally in the middle of a long, ongoing story. I wasn't confused or anything like that, but I've been following the story all along. I kind of wonder if somebody who's a new reader who hadn't been and they see #1, they think, okay, I'm getting the beginning of the story, or this is a good place to jump on. I think somebody like that might be confused. Like I said, this story started before the DC relaunch. And, it went, I don't know, roughly, maybe 7 or 8 issues, something like that, 8 issues, I think. And then they did Batman Leviathan #1, which was really issues 9 and 10, I think. And now they're starting again with another #1. And like I said, there is no sort of, they don't point it out here that this story takes place before the New 52 relaunch, before the other continuity. I don't know if Grant Morrison, has changed his story up any to kind of reflect that or not. But I'm just going along with the idea that this is a pre-52 set story. But like I said, I do think that's a drawback. I think they just should have kept going on with the original numbering so people wouldn't get confused. But okay. Next I have Secret Avengers 27. Now I missed the previous issue, but what it looks like is going on here is the Secret Avengers are on, I think they're on Hala, the home world of the Kree, which is an alien race. And it seems like there's been some sort of conflict. War Machine is in bad shape. Thor has been beaten up. The other Avengers are kind of trying to pick up the pieces. And what's happened is they seem to be under attack by Captain Marvel. However, I think, like I said, I missed the previous issue, but I think this Marvel is a character who showed up during the Secret Invasion, and that person was really a Skrull agent who had part of Marvel's DNA, so he's not the true Captain Marvel from the 70s, but he somehow thinks that he is. And what's going on is he has been juiced up or powered up by the Phoenix Force, so he's a lot more powerful than he should be, and he's somehow gotten Ms. Marvel and the Protector to kind of go along with him, and basically he's on the thing to, of course, beat up the Avengers and forward the Kree Empire and whatnot. Of course, unbeknownst to them, the Phoenix Force is coming, but the Phoenix Force is coming to destroy, whatever's in its path. So, of course, the Avengers have to somehow get a hold of what's going on, regroup if they can, save these people, and I guess do something about this person who thinks that he's Marvel. The art, or let's see here, the story is by Rick Remender, and it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It's vaguely connected to the X-Men versus Avengers, or Avengers versus X-Men event, but the story doesn't seem to be overwhelmed by, you know, those incidents or whatever. So I'm probably gonna have to go back and find the previous issue. But it's pretty decent. The art is by, let me find it here. The art is by, and I apologize if I say his name wrong, Renato Guedes, and it says Betty Breitmeister and Matthew Wilson are the colorists. And pretty good. Pretty, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a little bit different than what I normally expect from superhero art. But I liked it. It's kind of, I don't know. It's not quite Mobius inspired, but it looks like something you would see more science fiction-y type art rather than, you know, old school superhero art. But it works, and the colors really help bring out this kind of otherworldly, different sort of visual look to it. So I enjoyed it. Next, I have Aquaman number 9. And this issue, basically we see Black Manta fight another one of Aquaman's old allies from the past. He he allies himself with one of his other fans, or not fans, one of his other people, and we also see Mira trying to get some background information from Dr. Chen regarding Aquaman's past. Pretty, on the whole, it's a pretty decent. Let's see here. The story is by Jeff Johns, and the art again is by Ivan Reyes. The biggest drawback for me is the level of decompression. It's another one of these things where something happens, but not a whole lot, and it's just a super quick read. I just kind of wish Jeff Johns would kind of get back into writing meteor issues. It's just another one of these things. While on old, it's not bad, but it does read really quickly. It's one of these things where you could literally read in 5 minutes or so. Okay, that's pretty much it. I got to thank you very much. Thanks for listening. You tell me what you think. Okay, thanks.